we have gotten 4 different Batman Arkham games that are great, and there's multiple reasons why these games are so good. But out of all of them, which is the best? I'm gonna be going based on how good the main story is, the character designs, graphics, atmosphere, boss fights, and characters in each game mostly, to come to the conclusion of which of the Arkham games is the best. Arkham Asylum, the first one of them all. It came out in 2009 and it started off very strong for the Arkham series, getting so many people into the series and overall just setting up a bright future for the Arkham series and future Arkham games. This game is still seen today as very good for its time, and it's a horror game that creeps everyone out. If you were somebody playing it as a young kid, you would have definitely been scared. From the Killer Croc jump scares to the Scarecrow nightmares, this game is definitely terrifying, undoubtedly. It had a pretty strong story, starting with Joker being brought to the asylum, but him escaping, taking over the asylum, him and the other villains taking Batman through a crazy adventure in the asylum. It was a great way to introduce some of the Arkham game's best characters. Batman was constantly trying to find Joker and stop what was going on throughout the whole game. Other villains just kept getting in the way. He was also using Titan the whole game on some of the criminals that worked for him, even becoming a Titan himself. The graphics of the game aren't the best. They are still pretty good, but not nearly as good, especially when compared with the future Arkham games. The character designs in this game have some of my favorite, like for Scarecrow, Killer Croc, Poison Ivy, and Harley Quinn. I would say the best thing about this game is the atmosphere, as it still feels truly horrifying to this day. There are some pretty good boss fights, like the Scarecrow Nightmares, Killer Croc's Lair, and the Poison Ivy boss fight. Other characters like Victor Zsasz really helps contribute to the feeling of being in a crazy asylum that was full of surprises. Arkham City. It is known for having a really good story, and I can definitely see why, because there's a lot of things that catch you completely off guard, like plot twists, the fact that Joker is pretending to be more sick than he actually was. The boss fights are really good in this game, probably the, I would say, best part of the game, and we got some new villains appearing. The story is focused on Hugo Strange creating Protocol 10 and working with Joker. The character designs I like in this game are Joker's, Mr. Freeze's, and Ra's al Ghul's. The game's graphics improved, being better than Arkham Asylum's. The atmosphere is good, not my favorite though. Catwoman also has a lot of moments in this game, which at times when playing through the main story feels like they're kind of just getting in the way of you progressing through the main story, and can also just feel a little bit confusing if it's your first time playing. The game has a lot of peak moments, but at the same time, while playing through this game, I found at certain times that unlike some of the other Arkham games, it couldn't always keep my interest as much, but it's a very well-rounded game, and I can see why people think it's definitely a step up from Arkham Asylum in many ways, and why many people consider it a better game than Arkham Asylum, as even I would agree it is better than Arkham Asylum in some ways. Now, the ending, of course, of Arkham City definitely stood out, with Joker passing away. Arkham Origins is a game that shows Batman's beginning, earlier in his career, how it leads up to the later events we see in the future games, of how he becomes Batman, what he goes through, and meets some of the villains we know so well now. The game takes place during Christmas, with Batman being younger, so we see a version of Batman that handles things a little bit different with less experience. 8 assassins were hired by the Joker, who's pretending to be Black Mask, to take him out, who he eventually finds out is Black Mask and beats at the end of the game. The story in Arkham Origins is actually, I would say, kind of underrated. The story is done very well because it's just a great idea. 8 assassins hired by Black Mask to take out Batman, who at this point is early on in his career, and then it's not even Black Mask, it's actually Joker, and the assassins he has to go up against are some great Batman villains. Some of the moments that happen in the game, like Alfred and Batman getting into an argument or Bane finding out Batman's Bruce Wayne, are just some of my favorite moments throughout it. The boss fights are pretty good, especially the Deathstroke boss fight. That is one of the best boss fights in all of the Arkham games. I love the Christmas theme and how it's taking place during Christmas, the atmosphere, it being winter. The character designs I like a lot in this game are Joker's, Deathstroke's, and Bane's. Even with different actors portraying Batman and Joker this time, they did such a great job portraying the younger versions of the characters. Even if it is the least popular Arkham game, it still is a great game, and is arguably the best in many ways. The graphics in the game are pretty good, but definitely not the best we've seen in the Arkham series. Arkham Knight. Speaking of graphics, it definitely has the best graphics in all of the Arkham games, and they still hold up so well even to this day. The main story at first got a lot of hate for certain reasons, and some people still don't like it, but I like it a lot, and I think the main story is very good. It's Scarecrow taking over Gotham City, putting fear in everyone, making them all run and evacuate, him working with the Arkham Knight, who is actually Jason Todd, Batman still being infected by the Joker and slowly turning into the Joker along with a few other people, but at the end of the game he manages to take out the Arkham Knight, finding out he's Jason Todd. Even at some point was sort of an ally with Poison Ivy, since she was actually kind of helping save Gotham to save the plants. But at the end of the game, he manages to push through, beating Scarecrow since he's not afraid when Scarecrow uses the fear toxin on him. In this game, I really like Batman, Joker, and the Arkham Knight's character design. I feel like a lot of the things that are hated on are much better than a lot of people think, and are a lot of the time actually some of my favorite parts of the game. Of course, I also want to mention Scarecrow's character design in this game. It was also another one that I really did like, being different from his design in Arkham Asylum, but feeling more mysterious and serious, which fit the portrayal of Scarecrow in this game so well. I love the atmosphere of this game. Gotham looks amazing, especially since we got to see some characters in this game for side missions like Man-Bat and Professor Pig. However, you could even say this game still does feel kind of like a horror game and has some Halloween elements, especially with Scarecrow being the main villain, which is something that I really like about Arkham Asylum. Of course, I also want to mention the Batmobile, which I did like a lot in this game. I am gonna have to agree with many others' take on the Batmobile though, that it was used far too much, especially sometimes the way it was used was not the best for some boss fights. Though I definitely did enjoy it and like getting to get it in this game. Now, since I went over each Arkham game, here is what I would say once again the best part of each Arkham game is. Arkham Asylum, the setting, the atmosphere, just the overall feeling of true terror, it just having such a horror theme to it. Arkham City is the amazing boss fights, since we got multiple great ones like Mr. Freeze's, Ra's al Ghul's, and Clayface's, which were all so intense. Arkham Origins, the story, it really keeps you invested. The lead up to the future Arkham games and all of the great moments that show characters' development and what makes them such great characters. Arkham Knight, the graphics, as they are superior to all the other Arkham games and are still so amazing to this day. But if I had to pick the best between each one of them, which would it be? I believe the best Arkham game is the one that has a great story, is still replayable to this day, has an excellent atmosphere, setting, and theme, plus has amazing graphics, which is Arkham Knight. It was the last Batman Arkham game, and I believe they really did put everything into this last game and made it the best they could. And what we got was just that. They made sure to take everything into account from past Arkham games, making sure the game was well-rounded and had elements from the past Arkham games that everyone loves so much. Even if there were some things like the main story and some decisions they made that not everyone liked or enjoyed, I'm someone who thinks these things were actually really enjoyable. So I'm gonna have to put Arkham Knight as the winner in first place. Seeing Batman go through so much after the past Arkham games with all the experience he has, and Scarecrow being such an amazing main villain, also Joker still being there and still causing such a big problem for Batman, having such a big impact on Batman, along with just going even in Gotham City and fighting random thugs on the street. This game is awesome. One more thing I want to mention is the Arkham Knight. I liked him a lot. I love the fact that it was Jason Todd, even if many people thought it was predictable. That's my pick for the best Batman Arkham game. Let me know in the comments, what do you think? Which Arkham game do you think is the best? Do you agree with me? Is Arkham Knight the best Batman Arkham game? Or do you think another one is the best? Let me know some reasons why you might think Arkham Knight's the best Arkham game that I missed. Or just the reasons why your favorite Arkham game is your favorite. But I love all of the Batman Arkham games, and they're great in so many different ways. Guys, remember to subscribe and to turn on notifications. I really hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in another Cosmic Chaos video. Bye!